Medical mishaps have delayed previous coronations. Obviously not the most recent one. Let's go back to 1902, the year that Queen Victoria's eldest son is supposed to be crowned King Edward VII. So the big day is set for June 26th, but a few days before that, King Edward is not feeling too hot. He's described as looking pale and worn, and within a few hours he develops a fever, he has a tender abdomen, as well as a palpable mass. And this is all because he came down with an unfortunate bout of appendicitis. Even though this is the beginning of the 20th century, surgical removal of the appendix was nowhere near as commonplace as it is today. It was essentially a near-fatal diagnosis prior to the late 1800s, being treated with enemas and bloodletting. And although the first successful appendectomy was thought to be performed in the mid-18th century, these surgeries didn't really evolve into the standard of care until about 1890. Edward initially rejected the doctor's recommendations for surgical intervention, but as he got sicker and as he learned that this could be a potentially fatal diagnosis, he agreed. And he probably couldn't have had a better team. He had Dr. Frederick Treves, who had previously performed hundreds of successful appendectomies, who was also apparently involved in the care of the Elephant Man, or Joseph Merrick. He was also joined by Dr. Joseph Lister, who was a pioneer of antisepsis in surgery, and Lister is known for having recommended the sterilization of a patient's wound as well as the surgical instruments in order to reduce the chances of post-operative infection or sepsis. Technically, King Edward's appendix wasn't actually removed, the abscess that formed around it was simply drained. But he was able to recover from what was still a relatively risky procedure and was crowned king in August of the same year. Should I talk more about how royalty and medicine intersect? Let me know in the comments and follow for more medical history.